Let's talk about Max Payne, guys, and the future moving forward for this franchise, which we've talked about on the YouTube channel. You guys can check out all of my Max Payne content here on YouTube. And what I'm going to say, guys, is that this is one of those titles, that being Max Payne 4, is a title that I have been wanting to see Rockstar make for a while now. I've wanted to see the continuation here of the Max Payne story. I think there's still a lot to be told. But nonetheless, guys, I want to talk about some of that speculation and the excitement of a possible Max Payne 4 coming to fruition at some point or another. So let's talk about it. So how Max Payne 4 could still happen. This is written, guys, by Jonah Schuhart of Screen Rant. It's been almost 20 years since Max Payne first hit store shelves and 8 full years since the last game. And it's time for Rockstar to bring Max back. The Max Payne series defined an entirely new subgenre, which with its third-person shoot-fest riddled with bullet time mechanics and remained distinctive through its brooding dark noir atmosphere. The last fans saw of Max Payne was in 2012 with Max Payne 3, but with the continued prevalence of time-altering shooting mechanics in AAA video games, paired with the current success of both Rockstar and Remedy Entertainment, the time is more ripe than ever for these companies to bring the pain once more. Now, I've stated this, guys. I enjoyed Max Payne 3, but the first game is still my favorite in the franchise so far. So the first game was great. Second one I thought was a step in the wrong direction slightly, and then Max Payne 3 was a little bit, better in my opinion than the second one, but still not as good as the first one. I think that there's still so much to do here. I think that the dark story of the first game is really what I've been kind of hoping that they go back to somewhat, but to be honest, with Rockstar, Max Payne 3 was Rockstar's first go-around with Max Payne, so it might take a game or two for them to really get their footing with this franchise. And honestly, guys, we know Rockstar takes their time with their games, and with Red Dead Redemption 2 that came out, GTA 6 is probably being worked on. But the fact of the matter that, Bully 2 doesn't seem to be the game that's being worked on. It's been canceled as far as from multiple sources over at Rockstar. What could be next? Obviously GTA 6, but what about Max Payne? I mean, maybe LA Noire. Just maybe Manhunt. But most likely, they're working on either Max Payne or LA Noire 2. So, 8 years ago, guys, was when Max Payne 3 came out. An entire generation of consoles has almost come and gone since Max Payne 3's launch, and it seems almost as if Max has hung up his trench coat in Grimace for good. Remedy Entertainment, despite seeing great success with their most recent title Control, no longer has any say as to what happens with the Max Payne franchise. Likewise, Rockstar has seemingly had their hands full working on Red Dead Redemption 2 and the many ports of Grand Theft Auto 5 or 6. But, obviously they're working on GTA 5 as well. Despite that, it's never too late for Max Payne to make a comeback. So why should Max Payne 4 happen? There's a brand new generation of consoles just on the horizon, and the time has never been more ripe for such a classic franchise to return. If other Remedy games like Control can get a PlayStation 5 port and a classic PlayStation 3 game like Demon's Souls can get a PS5 remake, it's not inconceivable for something similar to happen to the Max Payne franchise. It has been almost 2 decades since the original Max Payne hit shelves, and while Remedy writer-director Sam Lake isn't a bad-looking guy, the digitized version of his face, which they used for Max's model back in the first game, could certainly use some polish. A remake or a remaster is just what the Max Payne series needs to make its way back into the public consciousness. I agree. Making, bringing at least a remastered version, guys, to Max Payne could be absolutely huge. That kind of, leads us to, if you bring Max Payne back, the first game in a remaster version, I would be all about that. I think that would be awesome. But on top of that, if you announce a remaster as well as a Max Payne 4, you're going to get a massive community excited about this. Ignoring the arguably overused practice of remastering and remaking already successful games, Max Payne 4 could still legitimately happen. With new consoles about to hit stores, companies are going to be looking for fresh ideas to draw in consumers. If Rockstar chose to make a new Max Payne, they could potentially attract plenty of older gamers. Not only that, but other slow motion games such as Superhot have seen a great amount of success since Max Payne's latest release, proving interest in the series' gimmick is far from dead. The fact that it would be a Rockstar game doesn't exclude the chance that Remedy could get say in Max Payne 4's development. Back when Rockstar was still making Max Payne 3, they showed the series' original creators a great deal of respect by asking Remedy to play the game and provide some criticism. Chances are, if Rockstar did decide to dig Max Payne out of his shallow grave, then fans would still get a product endorsed by the series' original creator. Aside from the Mark Wahlberg film that fans sometimes try to forget, Max Payne has never truly disappointed its entire fan base, and there's no reason to think it would start now. So, obviously, guys, what they're really talking about here with Remedy, since Remedy, did obviously Control, and that game probably took a lot of different, things from Max Payne, and kind of try to take them even to a further, spectrum. Max Payne's got a lot of possibility, guys. I believe that. I look at Rockstar and what they've done with Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, and I think to myself, why couldn't they do this with Max Payne? For example, you've got Red Dead Redemption 2 as well as GTA 5 both had full, single-player stories, have co-op modes as well as, GTA Online and Red Dead Online. Why couldn't you do Max Payne Online? They did multiplayer in Max Payne 3, and I think there were elements of it that were pretty cool, but I think that they could go to the next level, without a doubt, guys. I think that it could absolutely go next level, making it like a living, breathing space, almost like a sandbox of different ways that you can traverse the world in an online environment. That would be huge for Max Payne, absolutely huge. Now, there's been talk, guys, that Rockstar is thinking they're only going to work on GTA and Red Dead at this point moving forward, because those are their two biggest heavy hitters. So they're just going to kind of go back and forth between those two games. GTA 6, Red Dead 3, GTA 7, Red Dead 4, and you kind of keep going back and forth. However, I actually think that there's a chance that, sure, they're going to probably continue making those games. There's no doubt about it. But I also think in between there, since their team over Rockstar has grown and grown in a drastic way because of the success of GTA as well as Red Dead, there's a chance that they're going to start working on other IPs, whether they're brand new or, currently existing brands that they have, that being like, LA Noire and Max Payne. I think there's a chance that both of those titles are going to get, new games. I think Bully certainly should have another title come out for that as well. But I do think that Max Payne 4 and LA Noire 2 are definitely going to come out at some point or another. When that is going to happen, guys, is a very hard question to answer. I think a remaster for Max Payne would be a great step in the right direction, but I think if I'm Rockstar, I would announce the remaster of Max Payne alongside an announcement of Max Payne 4. Even if the remaster came out way sooner than Max Payne 4, I think that would be great to have that, where, some of the older gamers are able to kind of get back into that, feel of the Max Payne games, but also it brings new gamers to the fray that can play Max Payne and kind of see what it was all about and get ready for Max Payne 4. That would be my thought. But I'd love to hear yours in the comment section down below. Do you guys think we're going to see Max Payne 4? I believe we will, but it really comes down to, I believe, the community, guys. It comes down to those of us who are really excited about the continuation and love of these games. It's up to us to get Rockstar to, kind of really look at these things, kind of echoing these games into existence. It's a very big thing, guys, and honestly, communities are what can move mountains when it comes to these developers and what they decide to make next. So if you want Max Payne 4, you want a continuation of this franchise, we have to be the ones that are telling Rockstar that that's what we want. And if you have enough people doing that, you never know what might happen. Let me know, though, is Max Payne 4 going to be coming out, guys, in the foreseeable future, or do you think that it is done and over with? Let me know. And for more Max Payne 4 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.